Since the 1950s, the United States government has been experimenting with programs dealing with mind control that are known as Ultra projects. MK Ultra projects, which basically become mind control experimentation on the American public, different sections of the American public. I'm making this video because I am aware, because of inside information, that these projects are happening still today in America after 40 years of experimentation, 50 years of experimentation, in which the government began back in the 1950s experimenting with drugs, electroshock therapy, chemical brainwashing, and brainwashing using different means in order to experiment with brain waves and mind control on the American public and Canadians. These government projects were supposed to be top secret. They were declassified because of the Freedom of Information Act, and I'm making this video because I am aware of a new MK Ultra project that is happening in America on the general population of this country. In 1996, an individual by the name of Cassandra Nelson was given the HIV virus by the US government. She has been used in a population experiment in which psychic mediums that the government has been experimenting with, psychics, trance psychics, physical mediums, as a way to introduce drugs and disease into people using these psychic mediums. Cassandra Nelson was given the HIV virus as one of these population control experiments and is at this moment being used to spread the HIV virus to various subsections and subgroups of the American population. Within the last 3 to 6 months, she has been in jail in Minnesota, where they are using these mediums to spread the HIV virus to different populations in the prison system. These mediums that have been hired by the government, some of which are highly trained in counterterrorism, and some are even very well-known psychics and have been top government aides, top government helpers in these experiments. The person responsible for this new MK Ultra experiment, who is the main person overseeing the psychic medium manipulation of drugs and the HIV virus, is a person by the name of Patrick Collard. There is a group of mediums, of psychics, who are being used for these projects. Another one of these people's name is Sandra Ray, who is a top psychic and author, who is also being used as a part of this population control experiment. Another person being used, his name is Arne Ranson, who is a Swedish immigrant who's being used as a way to introduce chemicals, opium and LSD into people's system via the personal growth system which he has created called Unlimited Network. Basically, this medium's body is used as a way to officiate certain chemicals and drugs that are given to chosen individuals at different times to experiment with the HIV virus and this population control experiment. Another person involved in this experiment's name is Don McFarland. He and his spouse Linda McFarland are also involved in this MK Ultra experiment. Another person involved is a psychic known for creating the system known as rebirthing, Leonard Orr. These individuals have been created into a team that is designed to introduce HIV and AIDS into the general population of America in an experiment to control the sexual habits of certain subgroups of the population, including African Americans. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to tell you my name, and I can only tell you that I have information about these individuals that cannot be conflicted. I would strongly recommend that the American public not put up with this type of experimentation, which has been going on since the 1950s, and the US government even ended up having to pay large sums of money, government taxpayers' money, to individuals who sued the US government over these MK Ultra projects. The people that I've mentioned here can easily be located. They each have websites, and all you have to do is Google or use a search engine on any of those people's names, and you can locate them and their websites. The people's names that I've just mentioned are the programmers of the New World Order. This is not a hoax, and this is not a joke. These are the individuals who are being hired by the political leaders, the government leaders, and the businesses who control most of the financial aspects of this world. Why would you hire psychics and mediums to program people's minds? Is very simple if you understand the workings of these psychics and mediums. They are basically untraceable. They can work from a distance, utilizing such techniques and tactics as remote viewing and the delivery of drugs via remote computer and psychic access into people's system, regardless of whether you're inside a building or whether you are in a house or other location. These people are experimenting on the United States public and are intending to introduce the HIV and AIDS virus to every man, woman, and child in this country. They are going to regulate who has the virus and to what extent that virus is creating